Beware the Bookworm. Chapter 1. The Voice. Landon was on his way home from school on a rainy afternoon. He stopped at his favorite bookstore. The store was empty. "Just the way I like it," Landon said. "I can read my books in peace and quiet." Suddenly, there was a crash of thunder. Kaboom! "So much for peace and quiet," said Landon. He headed toward the mystery section. It was his favorite part of the store because it was in the back nook. "Now to find the perfect book," Landon said. "Psst," a tiny voice said. Startled, Landon looked around, but there was no one there. "This way," it whispered. Curious, Landon went in the direction of the voice. "This feels like a real-life mystery," he said. "Is anyone there?" "Up here," said the voice. Landon looked up. Just then, a big book flew off the shelf right at him. Shoom! Ah! Landon screamed. Landon leaped out of the way as the book landed with a thud. "That's what you should read," cried the voice. Frightened, Landon looked at the cover. The title of the book was As the Worm Turns. "Where are you?" Landon asked. Something else dropped from the shelf and landed on his nose. "Here I am," it said. "Ah!" Landon screamed again, louder this time. Chapter 2. Creepy Crawlies. Landon could not believe it. "It's a talking worm!" he cried. "You're a smart one," said the worm. Landon did not care for creepy crawlies, and ones that talked were just icing on a crawly cake. "But there's no such thing," Landon said. "I assure you, there is such a thing. I'm a worm. I live in an old bookstore. I'm Biblio, the bookworm," said the worm. The bookworm began inching away from Landon's face. The slimy stranger slithered to his ear. "I'll tell you a secret that you must take to your grave," whispered the worm. Kaboom! Another crash of thunder made Landon jump. He could not take it anymore. "I'm too young to die," he shrieked. And as quick as a bolt of lightning, Landon ran for his life. Landon shook his head, trying to get the worm off. Hanging on tight, the bookworm stretched itself across Landon's face. "I'll have to take matters into my own hands," the bookworm said. "But you don't even have hands!" Landon yelled. The bookworm peeled back Landon's eyelids until his eyes were wide open. "You're going to read to me, or else." Chapter 3. The Reading Secret. "As I was saying, I have a terrible secret," the creature continued. "I'm a bookworm who cannot read." Landon was stunned. He didn't know what to say. Then the bookworm bellowed, "Get him, gang!" And with that, a shower of bookworms rained down on Landon. "Help!" screamed Landon. There were so many worms that he was pushed to the floor. "Be quiet, kid," said a worm on his head. "This is a bookstore." "You're thinking of a library," replied another one. "What's the difference?" asked the first worm. "Not now," hissed the other worm. "We're on a mission." Landon was whisked away before he could make another move. Soon enough, Landon was carried back to the mystery section. "What do you want from me?" Landon asked. "Listen up, kid," said Biblio. "You're a great reader. And we want you in our book club." Landon stared in surprise. "That's it? It would be an honor to be a member of the Bookworm Book Club," he said. The worms cheered and circled around him. Landon picked up the book and began to read. After a while, the worker walked over. The worms quickly slithered into hiding, leaving Landon alone. "Did you find what you were looking for?" she asked. "Actually, it found me," Landon said, holding up the book. The worker just shook her head and went back up front. The worms slithered back out. "Are you having fun?" Biblio asked. "Yes," Landon replied. "You could even say I got carried away."